Welcome to Liberate University. Liberate University is free educational content released for the benefit and enjoyment of all. Many thanks to our gracious family of world-class practitioners for sharing their work.
Hi there, welcome to another episode of Liberate University. Today I want to talk about manifestation because a lot of people, I don't think that there's anybody that isn't trying to, achieve something in their life and manifest that into existence, whether it's a new job, whether it's a love relationship, whether it's more money, whether it's better health, whether it's to go on a certain vacation or have a certain experience or whatever it is, we're all working towards something or trying to get or obtain something. But why is it that for certain people, certain areas are super easy, and for other people, certain things are so hard, okay? Well, one, I have to say that me being kind of an expert of the mind, I say that it all starts with your belief systems. Whether do you believe that you can do it or you can't do it, whether you believe that it's difficult or hard or whether you think it's easy, those all affect it, okay? And so you have to understand that manifestation has a few different aspects and parts to it, okay? One is first the confidence in knowing within yourself, okay? And you have to go through a little bit of deep dive into your mind, into your belief systems and say, do I actually believe that I deserve this? Do I believe that I can achieve this? And do I believe that this is going to be an experience that I deserve, have, whatever the case may be, right? Okay, so when you look at that, you have to ask yourself those things first, okay? Because if you're sitting there and you're thinking that it's too hard for you or it's for other people and not you, well, we need to get over that roadblock, okay? So you kind of have to look at how do I start to have that confidence in myself that if others can do it, I can do it too, okay? And so part of that is, what I like to suggest to people is look at examples of where you have seen this manifest already for people in your life or for people that are role models or mentors for you and say, okay, first you need to have that proof that this is possible, okay? That first off, it's possible that other people have done it, that that it's not something that is so out of left field that, you might not be able to create it or have it or do it or whatever the case may be, okay? So first start to grab that baseline of saying, it's possible. Second off is knowing that you deserve it, okay? And so I hate to say this, but it's all about confidence, okay? When you know that you deserve something, and of course so confidence is self-love. So what do we do to allow you to see that you are lovable, that you are deserving, and that you are worth it? It all starts, like I say that how you do one thing is how you do everything. So it all can start with small little things, showing yourself love on an everyday basis and treating yourself with that kindness and generosity in doing the things that make you happy for no other reason, okay? Now, it can be as little as like making yourself your favorite tea. It can be allowing yourself to light some candles when you're at home and feel more of an energetic, loving environment. It could be like when you're plating your plate of food, doing it in a way like as if you were serving a guest, but do it for yourself. These are all little things to start showing yourself self-love, okay? And so if you have the love and the belief for yourself and you have the knowing that it's possible for others, now it's into the next step is saying, is it possible for me? Okay. And the answer is, of course it is. Okay. Now, once you get to that place and you say, okay, I believe that it's possible for me. I know that I deserve it. And, you have that as a sense and you are there. Now we have to look at some other things that are going on, okay? Because sometimes people are not clear on what they even want, okay? And what I mean by this is a lot of people say they use these arbitrary words that they're trying to manifest. I'm trying to manifest success, or I'm trying to manifest love, or I'm trying to manifest abundance or prosperity. Great! Think big. Allow yourself to get into those big aspects, into those feelings. However, do you even know what it's like if you get it? Okay? There's a thing that I like to say, it's like keys to achievable outcomes, okay? It has to be something that's measurable. You have to be specific, and it has to be, measurable and specific. I can't even say that word right now, but those are two of the keys to manifestation, okay? So if you say, okay, I want to be successful, well, what is success for you? Because I guarantee that it's different for everybody. So what does it look like? What does it feel like? Can you measure it? Is there a certain benchmark that you can get to achieve there, okay? And then I say, make the why bigger, okay? Because if you get stuck in the details and you're not into that aspect of, getting it bigger so it's outside of you a little bit, then there is no pull forward, okay? And you're going to have to cut here. So then I have to say, and then also one of the things is you have to make the why bigger, okay? Because in making the why bigger, you actually allow yourself to step out of your own way, okay? And what I mean by this is, set goals that if you're doing it for something greater, okay? So a lot of times we are our own worst enemies. We will do a lot of things and step out of our way to help support our lover, our friends, our family, anybody in our life. And when it comes to them, we will move mountains, okay? And sometimes this goes and ties into the confidence, but this is kind of like a confidence hack. If you're not feeling that self-love for you, pull it into the love for somebody else. We will build your self-love, but sometimes that takes a little bit of time to get to. So if you can make that why bigger, you can actually allow yourself to achieve it. So what do I mean by this, okay? Let's say that in the manifesting of success, okay? We got to get it specific, okay? So what does that look like? What is that? Let's say that success is a certain level of measurable finances, okay? And so we say, okay, well, how much money do you want to make, okay? Be specific. Do you want to make, $100,000 a year? Do you want to make $200,000 a year? Do you want to make $1 million a year? Whatever it is, I don't care what the number is, but allow yourself to get specific on that, okay? And then, so you'll know when you look in the bank account what that is. When you get a check, what that is. What you're working towards. But just having that by itself and having that goal of money without any type of why attached to it really doesn't give us much motivation to achieve it. Okay, so if you say, I want to make $100,000 a year or $1 million a year, great, so be it. For what? Why do you want to do that? What is that going to allow for you to feel and experience in your life, okay? And when you get into that touch, if it's like, okay, I want this house, okay? I want to buy this house, or I want to have a certain level of money in my retirement. I want to pay for my kids' education. I want to do whatever that is. If we start to look at what is that going to give you, what are you going to obtain, what experience are you going to have, you're starting to strengthen those whys, okay? Because having that money is meaningless, not unless because the money really doesn't matter. I mean, seeing cash in the bank account, so be it. But what does that give you? If it gives you a feeling of security, if it allows you to be able to retire at a certain age so that you have the rest of your life paid for, so that you can enjoy trips around the world or whatever it may be, that's different, right? And so then what I would say, that if you're having a hard time manifesting or doing that why just for yourself, and you have a little bit of confidence issues or self-love issues, include for somebody else, okay? And I kind of touched on that a minute in one of my examples of saying, okay, so I can pay for my kids' education, right? Or so I can do this for this. If you want to be a multimillionaire and it's like, okay, well, what else can you do? Oh, well, I want to also give to these organizations and I want to do this. put yourself there. If it's organizations, if it's people, if it's family, if it's a lover, if it's your family, whatever it is, if you can pull that motivation to be about somebody else too, but also about those specific experiences. I can't tell you enough how important manifestation is to have a specific. Otherwise, your mind doesn't know. It doesn't know because you could be successful in your own right. You could already have love, but you might not be having the right love. You might be attracting relationship after relationship that doesn't really meet your needs or what you really want, but you never got clear on what it is that you really want. So getting clear is super important, and being specific at what that's going to be like, feel like, have, so you can measure it, is some of the keys to achievable outcomes, keys to manifestation, okay? And so now that if you're getting specific, if you're allowing yourself to know that it's possible, and you're allowing yourself to make that why bigger, you are now in that beautiful manifestation point, because our minds will find a way to get there. And if you think about this, you've manifested so many things in your life. You are already an expert at manifestation, okay? Whether you manifested the meal that you want to eat, the certain type of cuisine, whether you wanted to manifest a movie that you wanted to see, whether you manifested a vacation that you took. And when you get specific, okay, when you say, I really want to go see that movie, you find a way to fit it into your schedule. When you really say that I want to go on this trip, you might not even have the finances for it at that time. You might not have the time off at that time, but you say, I want to go here. And then if you get even more specific and you say, I want to go here in the month of December, okay, you're going to now make that target even more direct. And the more direct you can make those goals, and make sure you make them achievable, okay? Because your mind, it has this ability, we can easily double our income because we can imagine what our current income is like, right? Okay, so if we're talking about manifesting money, we know if you currently make $50,000 a year, it's not a hard stretch for your unconscious mind to imagine what it's like to make $100,000 a year. But if you suddenly go from a $50,000 a year kind of mindset and say, I'm going to make $1 million next year, that's great. And I don't say that you can't do that. However, you're fighting a lot of resistance because your mind can't comprehend what $1 million lifestyle is going to be like, because it's such a far jump from your current reality. Okay? So allowing yourself, it's like you're not going to, if you started a workout regimen and you never run and you can barely run a half mile, it's really hard to say, tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and I'm going to run a marathon. Your body and your mind is going to fucking collapse. I'm sorry for swearing there, but I mean, it's not going to happen. You know, you can push yourself there, but it's the conditioning isn't there yet. But if you do the training and you say, I'm running a half mile right now and I can barely do it, but I do it, you can say, by next week, I want to run a mile. And then you can say, okay, by the following week, after you're running a mile, I want to run 2 miles. And then you can say, after you're running 2 miles a day, you can say, you know, next week, I want to run 4 miles a day. And then after you're at 4 miles a day, you can easily imagine what it's like to run 8 miles a day, and so on and so forth. So this doubling of your income can happen in a very rapid period of time, but please don't do yourself the disservice of saying that you're going to go from here to here overnight or within a very short time frame when you don't even know the next step. So having these step-by-step processes to get you there is allowing you to set up yourself for success. It's not limiting you. Please don't get me wrong on that. I'm not trying to limit you. I'm not trying to limit your success. I'm not trying to limit your manifestation powers. I'm simply saying work with your unconscious mind, work with your mindset that you have going on, and start to stretch that rubber band or start to stretch that belief system in a way that you can actually digest it, okay? And as you do that more and more frequently, you're going to continue to allow yourself. You can go from 50 to 100,000, then 100,000 to 200,000, 200 to 400,000, and before you know it, you're going to be at $1 million a year. But don't just make that drastic jump, okay? And in the same sense, allowing yourself, if you're trying to get healthier, to take those steps, because otherwise you set yourself up for failure, you get disappointed, and then you just give up, okay? This happens a lot when people start to work out, okay? They go from 0 to 100, okay? They say, I'm going to hit the gym 7 days a week, and I'm gonna go for 2 hours a day, and I'm gonna do an hour of cardio and an hour of weights, and I'm going to also, in the same time, shift my diet, and I'm going to start, doing this, and that, and the other thing. And before you know it, you have 1 day of failure where you can't get up and go to the gym, or you have one cheat day within your diet and you eat that fried food or whatever that case is, and suddenly you're back at ground zero because you set such a high goal for yourself that goal was unachievable because you didn't allow yourself to take the right steps to actually get there. Okay? Allow yourself the ability to say step by step, this is how I'm gonna build it, and before you know it, you can achieve whatever goal. So get big, think of the biggest goals you want, but then allow yourself to take the steps there. You can say, I want to run a marathon next year, but I'm going to start with running a mile next week because I'm only at a half mile right now. And then from the mile, I'm going to upgrade it to 2 miles, and from 2 miles to 3 or 4, whatever you want to do, but allowing yourself to take those incremental steps, right? And if we do that, and if you do that, you're going to start to manifest your dream life a lot easier, or whatever it is that you're looking for. Be okay to be where you're at and know that it's a process to get where you're going. And the other aspect of it is enjoy the journey along the way. It's fun to go through that process of continuously building. That's what life is all about, and we're always going to be advancing. So if you can allow yourself to enjoy those workouts leading up to the 26 miles that you're going to run, life is going to be that much more enjoyable. If you can enjoy the process of learning or polishing your career skills so that you're earning more money, or that you're getting to that next next level that you want to level up to, enjoy it. If you're trying to manifest love in your life, allow yourself to work on loving you, but also going out on dates and learning what works and doesn't work for you, getting clear on what it is that you're looking for, and allowing yourself to say, okay, maybe that's not the right Mr. or Mrs. Right, but it's leading me closer and closer to that right relationship that I get to enjoy to spend the rest of my life with. Do you see what I'm saying? So those are my tips for the keys to manifestation. I hope this was really helpful, okay? So once again, seeing it as a possibility in the world, then seeing it as a possibility for you, allowing yourself to get clear on what it is that you want and be specific so you have measurable benchmarks and outcomes, and allowing yourself, you can dream big, but take it step by step, because you're gonna do yourself a disservice if you try to go from 0 to 100, okay? Thank you. I hope this was great. See you next time.
Okay.
Could you hear it?
Yes.
Was that helpful?
Yeah.
Thank you for being a part of this class. We hope to see you at the next one.